MJX are absolutely smashing it with new releases at the moment. It kind of feels like we're seeing a new release every month. Now they've just released another new truck. This one is small though. This is a 1/18th scale truck. And today we're going to take a closer look. So today we're taking a look at another brand new MJX RC truck. This one is the 18208. This does look like a much smaller version of the 10208. Styling wise, I think it looks really cool. You get two bodies in the box. You get the monster truck body, which I've got fitted at the moment. You also get this Truggy style body, which I think looks really cool as well. As you can see, there's no body clips on this. That's because this has a clipless body. This is a slightly new system that I've never really seen before. You just kind of turn these and then the body pops off, which is sometimes easier said than done, but let's give that a go now. Let's try and get this body off. Yeah, seems simple enough. So there's a little look under the body. Under the body, everything looks exactly as you would expect from an MJX. So let's talk about the shocks then. Now they are plastic, but they are oil filled, which is really good to see. And, you know, considering this thing is 1/18th scale, we've seen from some other RC brands out there, in this kind of scale, we usually get friction shocks. So I'm really glad MJX haven't cut corners too much and they've actually given us proper oil filled shocks. Even though this is a small truck, very, very nice considering the price point. So of course this does have a front and rear bumper. No wheelie bar on this one, but I don't think you're going to be needing a wheelie bar anyway because, let's face it, it's not going to be the fastest thing out there. But look, you're not going to be buying one of these for speed. You're probably going to be buying one of these for a kid that you're trying to get into the hobby. It has a very generous battery tray for a 1/18th scale truck. I think that will easily house a 2200 milliamp hour 2S. A 2200 is a little bit tight, but you could definitely fit a 2000 in there. So everything on this is pretty much made out of plastic, although you do get metal CVDs on the front and metal dog bones on the rear. This just looks like a really decent quality product. I am really liking that even the affordable companies now are giving us even more affordability. You know, a lot of their cars are already pretty affordable, but they're now giving us even more affordable options. Now let's talk about the electronics. Now I'm going to say straight away, don't expect a powerhouse for this. This is a budget-friendly RC car, pretty much aimed at kids or beginners getting into the hobby. Don't expect massive power with this. Now down here we have a 380 size brush motor, I think, or it may even be a 390. 30 amp ESC, 2-in-1 ESC and receiver. So this has the receiver built in to the ESC. Down there we have a little mini servo as well. Overall, not a bad piece of kit. There's a little look with the other body shell on, and I actually really like this one. It kind of has a matte look to it. I think I prefer that over the monster truck body. So here we have the typical cheap RC car USB charger, 1500 milliamp hour 2S lithium ion pack. Here we have another 1500 milliamp hour pack, a black and white manual, and then of course some basic tools. Now when it comes to the transmitter, usual MJX stuff here, nothing new. You do get a nice foam grip on the wheel, and of course steering trim, throttle trim, steering dual rate and throttle dual rate adjustment, and that is pretty much it. So let's head out and let's see how this little 1/18th scale truck performs. I'm loving all these new releases from MJX. I just hope things don't change and quality doesn't drop just to get cars out there. I mean, you look at Relalo, where have they been? They've been very quiet lately, and I can only think that's because they're coming up with some new stuff. So that's full throttle. It's not very quick. This is out the box on the included battery, the lithium ion. Now let's not judge this too much on top speed, because this thing is designed for kids and beginners getting into the hobby. I mean, this thing is around £60. I think that's around $80, maybe even less. It could be one of the best ways into the hobby, price-wise anyway, and affordability. Would I pick this over a brushed Grum, for example, which is double the price? Yeah, I think so, if budget was tight. Right, let's see what we got. It's not going to be quick, but again, it's not made for this. It's not made for speed runs. It's got a tiny little brushed motor in it. Handles really well. So let's hit stop and read. So 17 miles per hour, right out the box, on the included 2S lithium ion. Not too bad considering. I mean, this is a £60 RC car, aimed at beginners and kids just getting into the hobby, that is more than enough to get you started. This thing's only tiny, but it will handle some grass and of course some dirt. Very, very cool. And again, like I said, you know, it's a cool little way to get someone into the RC hobby, you know, like a kid or someone just starting out. Would an adult get bored with this? Probably, because it's small and underpowered. It's not always about top speed and power and size. Sometimes you can appreciate these little cars. I just think it's really fun. I like this a lot. And of course, it's aimed at beginners and kids getting into the hobby. When you compare this thing to some of the big branded options out there, you can definitely see it's worth the money. It's just a very cool little truck. And it's surprising how it can handle this fairly long grass. Ah, that's just a little bit too long there. So this is just another very cool new release from the guys at MJX. And I've said it before and I'm going to say it again. I think I've seen enough of these small cars. I would definitely like to see larger cars. And I think most people will agree that we've just got so many options now when it comes to small cars. And we need these brands to start producing larger stuff. If they're going to keep progressing forward and take on the big brands, we need to see larger cars, 1/10 scale and above. And I know that creates issues for them with shipping and stuff like that, but I think that's the only way to really drive those brands forward now, and that is to produce larger cars. Smaller cars like this are obviously much easier to ship, but people want larger. I want larger. Lots of people have commented on my previous videos saying they also want larger, and I think that's the way to go, MJX. So there we go then, guys, another very cool new release from the guys at MJX. This truck's only little at 1/18 scale, but it actually performs really well, and I think part of that is down to those oil-filled shocks. What I've noticed in the past with a lot of these smaller scale trucks is they usually come with friction shocks, and that takes away so much of the performance, but MJX haven't cut corners with this one. They've done it properly. So for £60, around $75, $80, I definitely think it's worth that. This is the kind of RC truck that should be in local supermarkets, because at that price it's incredibly affordable. Let me know in the comment section down below what you make of this little truck. Do you think this is a good entry into the RC hobby for a kid, or maybe even an adult? You tell me in the comment section down below. Also, if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and make sure you've got notifications on to stay up to date. I've got lots of great stuff on the way, so you won't want to miss it. Cheers for watching, see you on the next one. Take care. If you enjoyed today's video and you want to see more from MJX here on my channel, click one of these videos now.